Hey, what up? How y'all doing? My boy Young Certs is with me.
What up?
All right, so we're gonna talk about WWE in general today, Raw and SmackDown. So, what you think about WWE right now?
Um, def,
All right, go ahead.
definitely feel. I don't know, man. I feel kind of complex in a way because they are going in so many different directions. They trying to, I guess, keep people like entertained, you know. But it is more. How can I say? More of a story than anything else. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the you know the, the camera angles flipping all over the
Oh yeah,
place.
the constant cuts. Yeah, the constant cuts
Yeah,
suck.
I don't.
That's too much production right there.
Yes, too much. It's a contract signing for every other pay-per-view before the little event.
I
You
didn't
know.
even think about that.
Yeah.
You was talking about the camera cuts.
Oh yes, the camera cuts and all the things like even like the AJ Styles and the Undertaker thing. I know you enjoyed it, but I'm not big into it. Maybe because I'm still old school.
Right.
I'm into like the boiler room brawls and the street fights that just keep the camera on task. So even like when the what was it when the Outlaws do Catch a Jack and old boy off the
Oh, it's good. Yeah, Terry Funk. They pushed him in. He was in the dumpster. Right, for the dumpster match. Yeah.
It wasn't no camera cuts. Like,
There was no camera cuts.
yeah, they went straight down, boom. You know what I'm saying? Even like something like small, like C. Blackman versus Shane McMahon when he hit him with the stick and he fell down, even though it was a pile of bullshit. But they wasn't like, oh shit,
Yeah,
he's down on the ground. What happened?
600 cuts.
Yeah, I definitely do not like that at all. I just feel like it's going back to the WWF new generation shit, and they need to get back to some raw shit. They still got that raw shit. Like for instance, like I really enjoyed the feud with Edge and Randy Orton,
Right.
especially their match that they had. Cause I didn't know Randy Orton can wrestle that good. To be honest
We
with
talking about the greatest wrestling match ever?
you. Yeah, quote unquote.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Yeah, but I guess they're trying to prove a point to see like,
right.
Those guys really they never really put on an actual good. Well, Edge have
Right.
because he had good wrestling matches with Eddie Guerrero and stuff like that. But Randy Orton never really put on like a good wrestling match. He's always a striker or a brawler or what I'm saying, RKO out of nowhere type shit. But he actually impressed me.
Yeah, I kind of I saw it. Randy and Edge, they kind of had a match at I think it might have been Vengeance in '04 that was similar to the matches they had this year.
Oh, really?
But you're right though. Orton has always been more of a heavyweight style guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's never been one of those '80s wrist lock, headlock guys. I mean, even though he's a headlock guy, like he put you in a headlock and hold you forever.
Yeah.
But he hasn't been in the matches, and they haven't been given that much time. Usually, they was given like 40 minutes or something like that at WrestleMania, and they was given like 40 minutes at Backlash. So, we talk about giving them the amount of time and letting them work that style.
Yeah,
But that's the style that used to be the common in the '80s. Like if you go watch the '80s and the early '90s, you'll see that style all the time.
Yeah.
And I miss that shit. Like I miss body slams. They don't know if they'll do body slam anymore.
Exactly.
Like
Headlocks.
headlocks, like a wrist lock or something like that. They don't even do that shit no more.
Mm-hmm.
Now people just run at each other and start kicking each other in the thighs and shit. You're like, come on, man. But who you liking right now? Who's your favorites right now?
Oh man, I definitely love the original bro. That's my dog. I like him. I don't know why he seemed like the modern day RVD. And what was kind of funny reason why he had caught my attention once I was looking at I guess like a little documentary thing on Goldberg on the WWE network, and and he went up to Goldberg like, bro, and Goldberg like, don't call me bro. Like that's the most cocky and shit. Like I like calling your daddy bro. And I'm like, I think I like him. I don't know why. I think I like him. But then he got in the ring, and I actually got to see him live as well. Like he's a good worker, like for real. He remind me like RVD and ECW, like for real. All smiles. When you get in that ring, he fucking you up for real, for real.
Yeah, I fucks with Matt Riddle. I do. I like Matt Riddle.
Yeah, I do. Oh man, I was kind of like when I speak to these people, I'm speaking about the up and comers.
Okay. Go ahead.
Ricochet, like I swear I was like kind of like growing into him until they let Brock bury him, which is like not fair. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would y'all do that?
He gonna Brock everybody.
You know what I'm saying? Like he had so much momentum going. You know what I'm saying? Right before that, you know what I mean? Even with the Royal Rumble, like he was still in the ring when Brock got eliminated right before Drew McIntyre, but he didn't get eliminated by...
Man, he didn't get eliminated by Brock now.
You feel me? So it's like, that was so much like a shot in the face. Like, wow.
My boy Ricochet. Ricochet is a sad case, man, because he got all the athleticism in the world, no fucking personality. And that's the problem. He ain't got no fucking personality. Like, the dude can do whatever you need him to do physically.
Yeah.
But as far as you tell a nigga to cut a promo, he just like a deer. He's like a deer in headlights, dog.
Right. True.
It's like, but you know, maybe this is what we're gonna talk about because we was talking about this off air. He need to go with MVP, dog. Yeah. I remember like he was talking about MVP, like him and Cedric need to go to MVP, or one of them need to go with MVP.
Right.
But I know that you're not a fan of MVP.
Definitely not a fan of MVP. I just found out the nigga is 47. Like,
yeah, he's old. Yeah.
I didn't know. I mean, well, age is just whatever. But I'm thinking to myself, like, bro, why are you trying to be the United States champion when you got two fucking prime prospects? You know what I'm saying? Bobby and Shelton.
Them niggas old too. They're not as old as he is, but them niggas old too.
But them motherfuckers look good. They cut. They can get together. Just can't talk. What you out there? You can talk, MVP. You feel me? But you cannot wrestle. Not better than them two. Right. And you out here got the pain business. What is it, the pain business?
Hurt business.
Hurt business, my bad. You know what I'm saying? They got them
pain
out.
Business.
Whatever this shit. You feel me? I feel pain. You got this nigga out here doing all this shit and you out here looking nasty. Man titties out and all type of wild shit.
I think that it was mostly about MVP has always been on some black power shit. He just trying to boost up Apollo Crews. That's all it was. I think that he came back. He didn't even come back and wrestle. He came back to be an agent. And then over the time, he just basically got an on-screen roster spot. But I think that ultimately, the whole Apollo Crews thing was just by MVP trying to make Apollo Crews look good. Because everybody knows his push was not supposed to last that long.
True.
So I guess, it kind of working with MVP who can talk and, putting together this clique, the Hurt Business and everything, it really has helped Apollo Crews seem like a bigger star than he really is. Because he's going to wrestle Lashley at Payback, and that title run is done. It's over. It's over. So I hope he enjoyed it. I hope everybody else enjoyed it.
Right.
Because Lashley's about to get that belt, and it's crazy because Lashley really should get the WWE title. We ain't talk about that too much,
man.
But he's definitely gonna take Apollo Crews' belt. But
you true.
All right. So what do you think about that's Raw? What do you think about SmackDown?
I love SmackDown. Be honest with you.
SmackDown is great.
It's I never thought I would come to, like, maybe because I ain't got cable. I like niggas be watching regular TV and shit like that. But I don't know. I'll be watching on Instagram and shit like that, Raw. But something about SmackDown just it gets me. And you probably gonna be like, ugh, when I say this, but I do like Roman Reigns. I fuck with Roman Reigns.
I fucks with Roman too. The big dog. Yeah, I fucks with the big dog.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, it took a while for him to get on me, but I think like 2016, I was like, okay, Roman's the guy.
Oh, okay.
Because I think it might have been the match with AJ Styles. I was like, all right, he's the guy.
Okay, cool.
Because he can work his ass off. It just takes some time for people to get used to it.
Yeah.
Of how he puts his shit together. Then they weren't doing him right because they was putting him in the ring with Brock and they was putting him in there with Bray and Bray is a character. He's not a worker.
Right.
And Strowman is a character. He's not a worker. And they be putting him in there with Roman and shit. But when Roman get in there with somebody who can work, Roman's gonna kill it. And that's what you need. You need that for your top guy. And he's not small. He's not a fucking midget. So that helps.
I'm feeling. Oh man, The Fiend. I ain't gonna lie. I'm feeling torn with his character.
Okay.
I'm gonna say why, because it's more of a, oh man, it's still Bray Wyatt to me. You feel me?
Yeah.
Everything else is like, kind of like what Kane was when he first came.
Right.
You feel me? You can't do nothing to hurt me and shit like that.
Right.
You feel me? But other than that, like it's nothing like new. I mean, I guess it's more the image.
Right.
But I'm just like, man, you better flip on the top rope or something, do something that you didn't do before. Like, I don't see nothing that's super impressing me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, for instance, when I go back to the Kane thing, like, it's a difference from Kane and Isaac Yankem.
Right.
You feel me? Kane was doing way more shit than Isaac Yankem was doing, to the point, like, we knew it was Isaac Yankem, what real people knew, but we didn't like, goddamn, like, I ain't know this motherfucker ought to get on top rope and do some shit like that to make it look good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think that's the point, though, is it's still supposed to be Bray Wyatt. And I think we had the same problem when it came with Finn Balor and the Demon, right? Because everybody was like, well, what's the difference other than Finn Balor wearing paint? And I say, well, his approach to the match is different. Like, psychologically, the match is different. So his moveset is not going to be different, but psychologically, his approach to the match is different. For instance, The Fiend is a lot more aggressive than actual Bray Wyatt.
Got you.
So that's the difference. Like, as far as, but physically, they have the same moveset. They use the same moves.
True.
You know, so it's not like it's supposed to be somebody completely different.
Right.
It's not a complete character change. Because actually, Bray Wyatt is, you know, what they doing with Bray Wyatt is the three faces of Foley. That's what they doing. So it's Bray Wyatt, then there's the Fiend, and then there's the Bray Wyatt that wears a sweater, and then there's the Bray Wyatt that wears the swamp shirt.
Right.
So it's different characters, but it's the same dude. That's like Dude Love and Cactus Jack and Mankind's all the same dude.
So do you feel like he gonna put his little brother in the mix?
No, if they ain't got Bo involved in it yet, then it's not happening. I'm pretty sure they probably put the
They fired his boy. I think.
Curtis Axel there to get rid of him.
Damn, that's crazy.
But I mean, it is what it is, you know. But I think they should have got Bo involved. You know, Bo should have been involved a long time. He should have been involved with the Wyatt family.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why he got so much of the everything, especially when he started messing with the Miz. He started getting like that edgy approach to with the gloves and all that. Like, it was only right now. Like, put him in the fun house, the fire fun house, or
let him be the voice of one of the characters in the fun house or something.
You know what I'm saying?
You would have thought he'd have been able to save his brother, because it got to be at this point. You got to have some stroke. I mean, he's the one. Did you see the swamp fight?
Yeah, I didn't like it.
All right, Wyatt put the swamp fight together. You know, so the swamp fight is probably like one of my least favorite cinematic matches that they've done. But I don't mind the cinematic approach. It's something different for the audience of the time, because there is no crowd, so you have to do something different. Mm-hmm. So I'm cool with it as far as that. But when the crowds come back, you're not gonna be able to do that as much. Even though they were doing it then, you ain't gonna be able to do it as much.
True. It definitely get like oversaturated in a sense, and it's already like, the Fiend Bray Wyatt, he already over everything. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's more like, now we want to see what you can do, like, for real, in like in the ring. You know what I'm saying? We know what you can do outside the ring.
He's the same motherfucker in the ring, though. It's just is what it is.
But it's hard to, I mean, I guess it's like a Brock Lesnar type of thing. Like, you can't get so much of it. Right. You get what you're going to get when you're going to get it. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I think they doing this triple threat match at Payback. They're going to do Strowman, Roman, and The Fiend. Yeah. So I'm like, they're probably going to do some shit where The Fiend gets taken out. They could probably bury him in front of in concrete or some shit, and then Roman is going to beat Strowman for the belt. Otherwise, I don't see what else you can do. Like, the Fiend should not be the champion ever. It's like when Kane was the champion. Like, as soon as Kane won the title, they took it right off of him. Yeah, exactly. That's what they need to do with the Fiend. As soon as he won it, they should just take it off of him, because he don't need it. He needed for, just to say that he's the champion. He was the champion, but he shouldn't be carrying the ball like that. Doesn't make any sense from a character perspective. That doesn't make sense.
That's another question. Like, why did they do this so early? Like, SummerSlam was just Sunday. Like,
I don't know why. But I guess he had to get the belt off Strowman, and you don't want to bury him because he's still a prospect, even though he's up there in age. But he's still a prospect. You don't want to bury Strowman. So then the only person that you could have Strowman lose to without him looking weak is the Fiend. Mm-hmm. So the Fiend beat him. So now you got to get the belt off the Fiend, but you can't get the Fiend beat because when the Fiend lost, people complained and they wanted to burn down the internet. because he got beat by Bill Goldberg. So you got to do this triple threat match, I guess, apparently to get the belt off the Fiend without beating them.
Right.
So,
but it seems like it's too. I mean, maybe I'm just like, I guess stuck into time, whatever. But some things I feel like, huh? Like for instance, like the Jeff Hardy winning the Intercontinental trying to get some AJ Styles,
right?
When SummerSlam was right
2 days later.
Yeah, all right, why you just put it there and make it maybe something more? But I love the angle that they pushing with Jeff Hardy because I don't think they
right.
they did it like I mean they could have done it with Scott Hall, but it was well over at that point. But I think I like that because he really putting it out there for people that really got addictions and shit like that, because this is some real shit that actually happened.
Right.
And I don't remember them ever like pushing a situation like that, what I'm saying, with people that's really had like real life addictions, dealing with alcohol, drugs, arrests, and all that stuff,
But they did it with Jake Roberts. Jake Roberts in '96, they did the storyline with him and Jerry the King Lawler. You remember that from SummerSlam '96?
Oh yeah,
when Jerry Lawler poured that liquor on him. And they did it also with Jeff Hardy and CM Punk in 2010 when they did when the Straight Edge Society first popped up. Well, not Straight Edge Society. When he first became Straight Edge, the Straight Edge heel. Mm-hmm. He was feuding with Jeff Hardy, and they was talking about Jeff being on drugs and all that type of shit. Oh. But this is time where they actually felt like it felt real. Yeah. Because it felt like Jeff was finally had gotten over that shit. And he could finally talk about it openly about how he felt and what he was going through and stuff like that, and
really start winning and doing he looking good out there. I ain't gonna lie, I thought he was gonna be sloppy, just doing the same old shit, but he the knee brace to the head that was pretty hot.
Yeah, I like that. I like that spot. That was a goddamn cool finish. Mm-hmm. Jeff Hardy has been the highlight of SmackDown for me. Like the whole thing with Sheamus. I like Sheamus, man.
Oh yeah.
I like Sheamus. I like that whole bar fight thing they did with him and Sheamus. I love that shit. That shit was great. Like it's like I'm a story guy. Mm-hmm. I'm not even looking for you to do 100 flips and all that shit, man. Like I'm all about physically tell the story. Word. And I felt like sometimes the Jeff thing is them physically telling the story of Jeff's redemption. Now, in real terms, Jeff should have won the big belt. He should have won the Universal title or something. Right. But the Intercontinental title was just as good, and he won it in the main event of the show in the Thunderdome in front of all these goddamn screens. But it was cool. True. Because he's not getting that big belt. Now that Roman's back, it's not happening. I do want to see Jeff Hardy wrestle Roman Reigns though. So. Oh, okay. I do want to see that.
Okay.
But I think they can probably move AJ up. But I definitely think SmackDown is better than Raw.
Oh, most definitely.
Raw is tough to get through sometimes, man.
Yeah.
It's just even though I fucking love Seth Rollins and what they doing with him and Ray and Dominic, I love that shit. And it's fun to watch Seth Rollins. He's on a bit of a roll as far as his character is concerned. Yeah. Being the Messiah and preaching.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I was saying this all year last year, bringing the curse stump back and bring him back to being a heel. Yeah. There's no way I'm looking at Seth Rollins and being fully appreciated with him being a babyface. I mean, he started doing the curse stump back again, I think last year. Yeah. Or 2 years ago, whatever it was. But at one point he wasn't doing ugh.
He was doing the pedigree. It was even worse.
Right.
Oh, God. I hate anybody who do the pedigree except Triple H.
Or anybody else. Well, besides super kicks. Everybody doing super
kicks. Yeah,
everybody
doing super kicks, man. It's bold, man.
Right.
It's and we was talking about this earlier, again, off recording. The frog splash is another one that's everywhere now. Everybody using the frog splash now. They need to put a moratorium on that bitch. Yeah. That and the Canadian Destroyer. I'm so sick of fucking Canadian Destroyers and super kicks. Yes. And I'm actually gonna start. I want to see NXT starts in about 20 minutes. I want to see how many people do a frog splash. Or some type of splash on the top rope. We need to stop it.
We think about Big E's new finish.
The stretch muffler.
That's what you call it.
No, that's what it is. It was Brock used to use the stretch muffler. He used the stretch muffler in 02. He used it a couple of times. It wasn't but yeah, I like it. I like the stretch muffler as a finish. It's good for a big dude, and it's not something that can hurt him or somebody else. And I think, but even though it's not bear hug territory,
Right.
Because the bear hug is probably one of the... That's a stupid fucking finish, yo. But it's not that, but I don't mind his new finish. I just don't like Big E's like gyrating and shit. Like, I'm cool. Yeah. I'm 100% cool with him. I just don't like all the hip swiveling. Him or Otis with that shit. I'm not really a fan. Matter of fact, what about Otis being the Money in the Bank winner?
I that's the shit, the lamest shit ever. Like, really, he about to turn that shit in against who? One of them 3 guys that's in
right.
On Payback tonight. I mean, not tonight, but Sunday night. You can't be fucking serious. But at the end of the day, all the history of this Money in the Bank thing.
Yeah,
we all had all type of wild shit happen. And that goes back to what we was talking about with the Retribution guys.
Yeah.
And that's what JBL was talking about. Like, out of all the little people that with NWO, DX, NXT, those all was somebody come out there, or a couple guys come out there with Hall of Fame, being Hall of Famers, or eventually being Hall of Famers, which is crazy. I'm looking at this shit like it's the same thing Nexus did, and I'm like, that's not again. It's only 10 years ago. But 10 years ago was a long time for somebody that was born in 2011 or something.
Right. The crazy thing about Nexus is Nexus was different because we got to watch them get fucked over. Like, Nexus was on a TV show, so we got them. They was doing like the barrel runs, where they was running with the barrels and shit, and that shit was on TV. It's like you got to watch them get embarrassed. So when they came back later on and was invading, there was a reason for it. You was like, yeah, they got made to look stupid as fuck on TV.
Right. Retribution,
I'm not sure, because we don't know who in the group yet. I don't know what their beef is yet. Right. So now I'm like, okay, what are you mad at? Once we figure out, and I'm pretty sure the internet detectives is trying to figure out who's in the group. They trying to figure out who's in the group. It ain't all people in masks. It don't matter. Okay, we'll figure it out when we figure it out. They just gonna send, like, people said, oh, Retribution is too small. They just sent people out there in masks that were bigger. So it didn't matter. Because it's going to be a mixture of small people. Because most of the people in NXT are small. Anybody who got any height is going to be easily noticeable. So it's not, people are like, oh, it's going to be Dijakovic, which probably needs to be the case because he needs to wear a mask or something. Because Dijakovic is plain white bread. He's horrible.
Right.
But I don't know who's going to be in the group. And I hope we find out soon, like Smackdown or Payback soon.
Right.
Because, it hasn't been going on that long, and sometimes you kind of want a mystery to go on long, but I think the longer it goes, the more frustrated people are going to get with it.
Yeah, you're right. Now, it also builds curiosity, because in my mind, I'm thinking, like, as I said, like, where I'm frustrated right now. Like, all the time, like, what the fuck? Like, it's already been done, but it is building a little bit of curiosity, because I'm thinking to myself, like, as you mentioned this, like, damn, there's some people from TNA. There's people from Japan, or like, what the fuck going on? Like, cause these people are kind of small, like, except that one guy. But
there was, WWE. I'm gonna stick with this because I think I came up with this idea. I'm gonna ride with the shits. I think that WWE just recently bought Evolve. You know what Evolve is? Evolve Wrestling?
No.
Okay, so Evolve Wrestling was one of the WWE. It was an independent promotion they used to fund. And, they recently, because of COVID and everything, they went out of business. So WWE bought the tape library, but they had a whole roster of talent. So I think that, and WWE has openly admitted that they hired 2 of these guys, so Leon Ruff and Anthony Green.
Word.
So I think it's going to be them. I think it's going to be the Evolve talent that were fired when WWE bought the company or whatever.
Word.
So that would be cool, but it's probably too cool. And then everybody don't know who these people are. So,
right.
I think it's going to be at least 1 or 2 people that everybody know, and then a bunch of other motherfuckers nobody know.
True.
So it's going to be tough, man.
Be Vince McMahon that one time.
That would be great. That would be great. I would love it if one of it was like, it was me, Austin. I would pop. Shit. I would pop for sure if it was one of them was Vince.
Oh man.
They should do that shit though. Like, you can keep that shit going forever and just have like Stephanie under the hood or Shane under the hood, like, and just keep doing random shit, like,
because you can't tell some of these black motherfuckers with hoodies and shit. Like, god damn, what the?
Yeah, but I think Vince would be too obvious because he's like an old man now. Like, he probably would get away with it in like 2000.
They are doing a good job because they all like the same height.
Yeah, even the women.
Yeah,
like, how the women are the same height.
Right. And I be thinking like, damn, I know somebody man about to come on. As soon as I say that, they be pulling the mask down under their chin so it won't come down, and they pull their hood a little bit further down their forehead.
But like, wow. the one chick had colored hair, and people like the internet detectives found it. She wrestled on NXT. I love that name. and then they went through the NXT roster and they found her. But she hasn't. I don't think she's been back out there since they did that. And then she wrestled on NXT. So who knows? She wrestled on NXT. What was it? Last week? What was it? Or the week of SummerSlam. So it was the week of Takeover, which would have been the 20. What's today's the 20? What 2026? It would have been the 19th, I think. So she wrestled. That was the only match I've ever seen her in NXT, and it just happened to after the internet saw her hair poke out of her hoodie and Retribution. She just happened to show up. So I was like, maybe they're trying to throw everybody off, or they just trying to like, okay, you found out who this one is, but we haven't. We gonna hide the other ones. Yeah. But I wonder, like, you can't keep the secret. Like when they did the whole Rowan in the cage thing, they did it so long that people didn't care anymore. And then when they found out what it was, they were like, what the fuck, a giant spider?
Oh, that's what it was?
Yeah, it was a giant spider.
Oh, no wonder he got fired. Fired for a spider.
He wanted it. He said he wanted it to be the world's smallest woman. He wanted to be like a woman in the cage. Yeah, that would have been dope. If he'd opened that cage and a human being would have come out, I would have been like, "Fuck you." Fuck you. God.
Then you're gonna have the women rights people come.
Right.
You got us in a cage. Not a good look, Roman.
That was great. See, the big spider would have been fine if it had been a real spider. It was a fake spider, though.
Right.
Fuck you. The crazy thing is, WWE, I think this is a Bruce Pritchard thing, man, with the whole mysteries. Like, they've done mysteries again and again. Like, they did the Who Tried to Kill Roman Reigns thing. And that's when they came up with the two Romans during the Daniel Bryan storyline where he was feuding with Roman Reigns and they them boxes and shit or whatever tried to hit him.
Oh yeah.
So that ended up flopping. That was a flop mystery. Then they did the hacker, the who's got the cameras in the locker room. They just dropped that storyline completely. And then there was who's in the cage. That ended up being a flop. So now they like who is Retribution. And that's probably going to be a flop, too. Because it's probably going to be... It's either going to be a bunch of people nobody knows, or it's going to be one person people know, and a bunch of people nobody know. Mm-hmm. And I think that it's probably going to be the latter. But it needs to be like somebody turning heel. Like, it needs to be like... It probably shouldn't be, but it should be Mustafa Ali. But he's a Muslim. He's not going to be like, I'm a terrorist now. Throwing fireballs. It's not going to happen.
Exactly.
It's not going to happen.
Well, it's Adam Cole, baby. I know I said that in the last show.
It might end up being Sami Zayn. Who knows? It could be Sami Zayn.
Oh, yeah. I forgot
he hasn't been on TV in a long time.
Right.
And, it kind of fits him, I think.
Because he is small like that.
Yeah, he is. He's kind of small and skinny.
Kind of small, yeah.
And they didn't, of course, they let people that nobody knows do all the talking. Like, nobody knows who these guys are, so they can talk and walk around and shit. So maybe it will be Sami Zayn. That's another option I think it might be. But I think it probably needs to be, definitely some NXT talent. Definitely. Because I know at least one of the women are from NXT.
Right.
I think baby girl Kaden Carter is one of them too. I think. I think she's one of them too. But I don't know, man, because I don't know how many members it's going to be. Like, they keep changing the membership up, so it's hard to tell how many people it actually is in the group. Let
me switch gears a little bit. How do you feel? I've been feeling some type of way about Daniel Bryan. Now that you mentioned him when you was talking, I think I want the new Daniel Bryan back. That sound kind of fucked up, don't it? Because everybody wanted the yes.
Right.
But when he came back with the yes, I think I want the no. Like, he came back with that wooden belt
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was just so edgy, and he was just so aggressive.
Yeah.
Like, for real, like, he wasn't giving a fuck. I mean, what is your thoughts? I mean, do you prefer the new Daniel Bryan? I mean, do you prefer this good guy Daniel Bryan or the bad guy Daniel Bryan?
I like the heel Daniel Bryan. Like I liked it. He was aggressive. He had a mission. He was completely different than he had used to been before. I think it was a fresh take on a guy that we already liked, you know. And I think that trying to put the toothpaste back in the tube and trying to recreate the Yes movement. I mean, it's fun
like the
for
bad
me.
guy Steve Austin.
Yeah,
like he had the red knee braces.
Yeah, then you had the when Austin was trying to be friends with McMahon, then go back to being like, nah, you can't do that, dog.
I feel
you can't. You can't do that, dog. We can't forget that you had the hemp belt, and we can't forget that you judged us. You called us fickle. You called us names, bro. I'm never gonna forget that shit. But he's on paternity? It's paternity leave. He's on paternity leave. He just had a baby, so he's gone. Yeah. And that's pretty much going to be what happened to Seth Rollins in a couple of weeks because he's probably about to get it too. He's probably going to jam his eye in the goddamn steps and get rid of his ass.
Midnight Messiah about to be the midnight babysitter.
But she probably ain't due until like fucking February or something like that. So she, it's not going to be no time soon, but it's going to be rough because Becky Lynch is done. She's probably done for like 2 years. Because the pregnancy is 9 months. And then once she had the baby, then it's going to be like, well, she got to spend time with the baby. Breastfeed, if she's going to do that, and all that type of stuff.
Right.
And then she got to get back in shape. So she's probably done for like 2 years.
I never was a big fan of her anyway.
I was cool with her. I think they pushed her a little too hard.
Definitely.
They pushed her a little too hard. But I was cool with her. Because I was tired of fucking Charlotte. That was for sure. I'm still tired of Charlotte.
For real?
Yeah, I like Charlotte, but I was kind of sick of her, her being on top of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
She's the best, but she's on top all the time.
Yeah. I was thinking that too. Like, damn, she's a little bit too good. You know what I mean? Like, that's fucked up to say. Like, damn, like, I guess, like, I know I heard some people say, like, you go to a job and say you overqualified. Like,
yeah.
Like, bro, like, she's just too fucking good. Like, and she make everything look good. It's like the AJ Styles of, like, the women. But then, like, AJ Styles, like, he got somebody that can really wrestle with him.
Right.
Like, Charlotte ain't got nobody that can really, like, go, like, on some wrestling. Like, she take it old school. She takes it to the 80s, to the 90s, to the 2000s. She do all that shit.
Yeah, like, she really put some effort in. The crazy thing is, man, everybody who are kind of on the hating Charlotte is, like I said, I'm tired of Charlotte because I see her too much, but she needs to go away for people to enjoy her work. She is the best women's wrestler in the world.
True.
And I think that everybody that they try to put on that level, with the exception of maybe Asuka, who is also very, very fucking good. Yeah. Everybody else, be kind of pushing it. Like, Bayley is good. I wouldn't put Bayley because Bayley is, even though she's kind of come into her own as a personality, Charlotte's been there. Sasha Banks is great, but she's not Charlotte either. And Becky Lynch is a good personality, just also not there.
Yeah.
But I think I still think they're probably gonna bring in Tessa Blanchard. You ever seen Tessa Blanchard?
No. I'm trying. It rings a bell.
Impact.
No, never.
Oh, okay. What you probably call it TNA. Yeah, she was a world champion.
Oh shit! Damn. Yeah, nah, I ain't know.
Yeah, Tessa Blanchard. She's the daughter of. What the fuck? Oh my god. Hold on. That's Tully Blanchard's daughter. Yeah, but she's.
Okay.
Yeah, she's. She got into some. She probably will be showing up in WWE one day, but she's in Mexico right now. Well, she's she's in Mexico. Whatever.
Gotcha.
But Rhea Ripley is up there. Rhea Ripley is pretty good. She's not, of course, not Charlotte level, but she's only 23, so she's gonna be really good when she get like 30.
Damn, I know she'll tell you young.
Yeah, she's really good right now.
Yeah.
So she's gonna be top of the league, like 25, 26. You're gonna be sick of her. She's gonna be like the female Randy Orton, I think. Because Charlotte is like the female Randy Orton right now.
Yeah.
Because I think in a couple of years Charlotte's gonna be done. You know, and because I can just tell that she's probably not gonna be around much longer.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, it's just you can. I think that all of these, because women are different from men. You know, the women usually retire a lot sooner. Like Trish Stratus, I think AJ Styles are about the same age.
Mm.
You know, it might be off by a couple of years. I think Trish might be like a year or two older, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But the women always retire sooner than the men.
Right.
You know, because they want to have families and shit. And so,
right.
You know, it's pretty crazy.
Mm.
But what else you got? What else you got on WWE?
Basically that. I mean, that's it. I mean, SummerSlam. Like I said, I didn't like that. I didn't like SummerSlam. That just passed. I mean, it was kind of like an old fashioned type of finish for a lot of the matches.
Uh-huh.
So I didn't really enjoy that too much. You know, if it was just like one finish, I was kind of like, you know, maybe a roll up. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'd be like cool with that. But it was like kind of like two of them. It was like in that whole event, was like 3 different people doing fraud splashes.
Right.
And I'm like, yo, are you serious? You know what I mean? The Fiend and Bray Wyatt, not Fiend, the Fiend and Braun Strowman match, like I enjoyed that one. You know, it was very physical. And what caught my attention with the Fiend, like, you know, he got that one. Well, I don't know if it's a choke slam or some type of like.
To Uranagi, yeah.
Yeah, like his back snapped against the edge of the table.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
he got choke slam. Yeah, he got choke slam.
Yeah, he didn't go through it.
It didn't break. He's a fat nigga. It didn't break.
Exactly. And I'm like, yo, that's wow. And that really kind of caught my attention because he still was playing that role like, ugh. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, let me see what's going on. And that's when Roman Reigns came in with his fake teeth and started spearing niggas and shit. I'm like, all right, Roman. All right, I see you.
Big dog.
It just, you know, what kind of irritated me with SummerSlam, because it's supposed to be the finish of all of our summers, but for the last, I guess, because I'm into industry and shit like that. So the last, it had to be like 10, maybe 15 years. The logo been looking the same fucking way.
They have not changed the SummerSlam logo
at all. That's why it's like SummerSlam. All right, you feel me?
They really kind of have the show in the same buildings too. Like it's always in L.A. or New York.
That shit crazy.
It's the same thing for WrestleMania. It's always in the same 3 places, same 3 or 4 places.
Right. That's fucking fucked up.
Yeah, they need to, like, since they've started having cities, what I guess you could say, contracts with these cities or whatever. They started just basically having WrestleMania every other year is in New Orleans, every year is in LA, every year is in New York. And SummerSlam is always in New York, or I think it's supposed to be in Boston this year. It didn't happen, but they also Florida. Yeah, Florida.
Yeah,
but they always, it's like, man, but yeah, you're right. They need to switch up the SummerSlam logo, or I think they need to start doing retro events, like start doing like retro SummerSlams and stuff like that, or like with the old retro theme songs.
Yeah,
like the old wrestling. Like they need to bring all that shit back.
Yeah,
that would be dope. Like, why not do a retro Raw every once in a while? Right. They got like the alarms and stuff like that. You know, the cages around the names and everything. Just do a Raw is War type of Raw.
Yeah. Because every event in this Survivor Series, like probably like 12 years ago, because at one point they weren't doing the tag team elimination.
Yeah, they stopped doing them.
Yeah, then they had brought that back. You know what I'm saying? Then it gave that feel back. Then they took it now to like, you know, Raw versus SmackDown, which I still enjoy that. Some people don't like it. How you feel about that?
I love the Raw versus SmackDown joints. I just didn't like it when that one year because they had already done it. Like they did it on bragging rights, which was a bullshit event.
Yeah,
and they did like a 20-man match for like Raw and SmackDown. I hated that. But I like it for Survivor Series where you do Raw versus SmackDown.
And that's NXT.
NXT, yeah, I like that. Like, cool. I think that you really need to add a 4th brand, like, because there's an NXT UK as well.
Oh,
so you probably, instead of making that one NXT, you should make it NXT UK, Raw, and SmackDown.
Ooh,
and
this motherfucker spit.
You know, because you got the talent pool to do it.
That's some good
and
shit.
it didn't make sense. It didn't make any sense, especially when you had NXT UK and NXT together at the last Survivor Series.
Yeah.
And then you had that motherfucker Walter go in there and get beaten like 2 minutes.
Right.
Like, why? That was fucking stupid. You got to give him his own team. And could have hung in there a little bit. You know, I know he don't want to be in the United States, but still.
Right.
You know, but you know, if you're gonna do, I think that maybe the 15-man match might have been too much, and it could have just done 5-on-5 and did all the champions wrestling each other. I like that idea, but the 15-man match might have been a little too much. Maybe I don't know how I think about it. Maybe I haven't watched it since, but I know that Keith Lee killed in that shit.
Oh yeah, the run from last year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He ate.
It was that. Oh, it was a good one. It was a good. It definitely was a good one. I ain't gonna lie to you. Even the women's ones too. Like, you know, the main event with the women's, that was a good one as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shayna Baszler won that joint.
Yeah.
It was well, no, that was the triple threat match. But I like the idea of the brands clashing at one big event. But what do you think about Booker T saying that they need to hang up the King of the Ring?
Hang it up.
Yeah, he need to retire it.
What?
Yeah, he said he need to retire it.
It been like then they're retired. To be honest with you, like
right.
they never done it, man. Like I'm gonna keep on saying, I'll be saying it until like I still got breath in my lungs. I'm still old school. Like I just remember when Bret Hart and Owen Hart won them boys. They went 3 people straight in one night. You know what I'm saying? The King of the Ring was just about that, to show what your stamina was about. And these people was coming out there, like, and it was showing it too. Like, it was really like feeling it from the last match. Bret wanted to come out there with his jacket. Owen wanted coming out there with, you know what I'm saying, his little glasses and shit like that. That was really got me so much involved. So that like really look at that shit. The King of the Ring 93 and 94. You know, for the people that's listening and stuff like that. Like,
and 96.
96?
96 is Austin.
Yeah, 96 was a good one too. But that was only 2 people though.
Yeah, because he had to wrestle twice.
Yeah, but what I'm meaning, like, you know what I mean, to show people
the 3 ones.
Yeah, the stamina of that. You know what I mean, people really got to endure to really be the king of the ring and shit like that. You feel me? And I feel like there's a lot of, you know, I mean, to get rid of no, hell no. For real.
I love the King of the Ring.
I love it. You know what I'm saying? I don't like how they put it as like, you know, every other night, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's not like a main event and shit like that.
Right.
But they should bring shit back like War Games and shit like that, like, which is cool. Like, I ain't tripping about that, but
I want the fucking King of the Ring. And the King of the Ring needs to be in June. Matter of fact, you know what you should do? Push Money in the Bank back till May. Or do Money in the Bank at WrestleMania. Then you do King of the Ring all of June. The winner of the King of the Ring gets the title shot at SummerSlam. Yeah. That's it.
You feel me?
Then that should be like it. And then you got all of July to build the motherfucker up. Because he's already won the King of the Ring. Now you spend July building up the match between him and the champion.
Right.
And that would make more sense. That would give it a sports feel, you know, like a playoff.
Yeah.
You know, like that would be dope. But they don't give a fuck about the King of the Ring because Baron Corbin is the King of the Ring right now, and nobody cares.
They got I guess the Elimination Chamber is the new King of the Ring now.
Bold.
You feel me? I guess they work with people with attention span. Yeah. You feel me?
That is true because people complain about these fucking tournaments though, and they try to figure out. And then tournaments also, you know, in the age of you knowing it's not real, they just be like, okay, babyface won this match, and means the heel gonna win the next one, or whatever. It can, of course, you can have babyface versus babyface, heel versus heel, but they tend not to do that.
Right.
But I think that they killed the King of the Ring brand by making bullshit ass Kings of the Ring. Number one, fucking Mabel. Like, he did a hell of a lot of damage to the brand. And then fucking Billy Gunn.
Yeah.
And I mean, you had some great King of the Ring. You had Brett, you had Owen, you had Austin, you had Edge. Edge is the King of the Ring. Brock Lesnar is the King of the Ring.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, Kurt Angle is the King of the Ring. But, you know, it was hard to come back after. They didn't have a King of the Ring in 03, I don't think. Or in 04. Or in 05. And then 06, it was King Booker.
When Kurt Angle?
Kurt Angle was
99?
Yeah, 99.
Okay. And Edge, when Edge was?
I think it was the 2000 King of the Ring.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
But what's and then I think that I forget. William Regal won King of the Ring as well. So he was 2008 King of the Ring.
Okay.
Yeah, but they kind of. I like the tournament, man. They need to double down on it.
I didn't even cut you down. You remember when he first came over Reels, man?
Yes, man.
That shit was so corny.
Well, Such a man.
Right. Well, go ahead.
But I love the King of the Ring. I think that Booker T is basically saying like people don't really believe in it anymore, and that and maybe that's the case. But I think people like tournaments. So if you don't even want to do the King of the Ring tournament, just do a tournament because people like the Mae Young Classic and the Cruiserweight Classic. Those were tournaments. People like tournaments, so do a fucking tournament. Why not?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm very confused why he would say some shit like that. Like, you know what I mean? He went into like a 7 series with Chris Benoit in WCW and the WWE,
right?
Which was some good ass fucking matches. The better one was in WCW, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it was.
But those were some fucking good ass matches. Like, the best out of 7 with Chris Benoit and Booker T. So for him to say something like that, like that was like dinner, like the coming of Booker T to anybody that really fuck with Booker T like that, for real. For real.
His singles run against Chris.
For real. So I'm not too sure why he would say something like that.
I don't know. I think that I think the way that they use the King of the Ring is more of a problem than the actual event itself. I think that people making somebody an actual king instead of using that as a number 1 contendership spot.
Right.
It's like, but saying somebody need to get rid of the King of the Ring, even though the King of the Ring has been pretty much phased out, it's not quite as it's one of those silly things like when they fuck with the Royal Rumble, like it'll be 40 people in it, or they do a Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia or something stupid like that.
Right.
It's like if you build the tradition, people will stick with it. You have to build the tradition. People want their King of the Ring and they want it in June. Why not do it?
Exactly.
It shouldn't be a problem. And then you with the network, then you got to worry about drawing a fucking pay-per-view rating. Who cares?
Right.
People are going to watch it. And then they did the Wade Barrett King of the Ring. I forget what year that was, but it was fucking stupid because they did it all on the network.
Yeah.
And I guess they didn't do well on the network, so they kind of put the kibosh on it. But they put a fucking bunch of bums in it. Like part of the King of the Ring is you got to have at least some stars in it, and then you got to take them out. Like they've had Undertaker in the King of the Ring tournament before. They had to take him out of it though. Like Shawn was in one of these King of the Ring tournaments, and he didn't win it. He was got like eliminated, probably got count out or something. Even Ahmed Johnson was in like the year that he won the Intercontinental title. He was in the King of the Ring and got eliminated. I think he was in the 96 King of the Ring, or was it the 97? It was one of the two, and he got eliminated early. And so it's like you can do it without guys getting beat and them looking like shit, but you have to be able to put effort in. You gotta whatever. That was a weird thing for Booker T to say.
Yeah.
Right. That's all you got?
Yeah, man. That's all I got right now, man.
All right. Thank y'all for listening. Like, share, and subscribe. I'll talk to y'all later.
Peace.
Hey, like, share, and subscribe.